My name is Mariana Santiago, and welcome to my podcast. It's Mariana Making Sense. You decide. And you may be wondering right now, why is Mariana wearing a hat? And it's because this episode, well, I do love my hats, first of all. So if you want to send me one to my house, DM me and I'll give you my address. I like the black ones. I don't have that one yet. So the reason of why I'm wearing my hat, it's because I wanted to give a different look for my rant. This episode, it's about me ranting and giving you some little advices that could be useful for your life. And let's start with that. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. Why we would go and say negative things about people or things that can put people down? Let's not do that, please. I think that it's the best advice that I've ever received, and it's, are you adding any value? No. Then don't do it. Don't do it. Why go there? Are you a mean person? I don't know. Second, envy. I feel like we have to stop to envy other people, especially the Instagram stories are over there, the fake people lives that sometimes are why do they have that and I don't? I looked up the meaning of envy, and it's a feeling of sadness or being angry that the person experiments when that person doesn't have or wish to have what the other person does. So why would we put ourselves into the position of feel sad or mad? Because remember, we create our own reality. So why are we willingly putting ourselves into a spot that we don't want to be? Why are we doing that to ourselves? Let's think a bit more about that. We don't have the same reality as they do. Maybe the people that look the happiest are the ones that are the most unhappiest, and vice versa. The unhappiest are the most happy. Or maybe you do have the one that actually matches both. But I mean, the fact is that all of the realities are different, and we cannot compare ourselves to any other person than ourselves. And that will help us to tone it down on the envy button. I feel like less envy makes us happier. And stop the gossip. Gossip is horrible. I mean, we all love a good gossip, but I feel like you have different levels of gossipness, and you have the one that it's a bad, pun intended, it's bad, it's with a bad intention. I've had friends asking me, what is that friend of yours is like that? What does her partner think? Why? And I'm all of these questions, and all I want to answer is is it your problem? Does it affect you? They're happy. As far as I know, they're happy. So why you that are not even friends with them are in the middle? Why are you trying to get in the middle and asking oh, are they okay? It's not your problem, so step out. So, I mean, we tend to just go and gossip and get into it. Sometimes you actually get mad. Why is that person doing that? It's not our problem. So let it be. Let's worry about what's our problem. I feel like we go through this life, and life it ain't easy. So why don't we worry about our own stuff? I think we would be happier as well. Other one. Take the toxicity out of your life. The toxic people, the toxic whatever it is in your life, take it out. We all have toxic people in our lives, and I feel like you can do two different things with it. Either take it out of your life, and if you decide to keep a not so toxic one, because it could happen, then keep it, but put limits. Put limits and understand them. And what I mean by understand them is that don't criticize them all the time. This person is driving me crazy because of this. If you took the decision to keep them in your life, you need to understand how they are, how they behave, and how they are on their day-to-day. But the key here, it's the limits. The limits that you put with them. How much access do they have to your life? How much power do they have over you? And that it's up to you. And once you do that, you can keep these people that maybe are very good friends of you, like maybe have been friends with you forever, and you don't want to take them out because they're somehow toxic. Well, this is what you can do, and believe me, once you set up that straight and you keep like being honest with yourself, you will nail it, and you will be very happy that you actually kept the ones that you wanted to keep. Also, be you and not the person that people want you to be. I feel like being authentic, it's a precious thing. A lot of people don't allow themselves to be authentic, and that's something that we lack. I feel like we had more people that it's authentic out there. I consider myself authentic, but I mean, I would love to see around me more and people like that don't pay attention to what society says. I feel like that's something that I will never get bored of saying in my podcast. And it's like, we don't care what they say. Why would we care? What we care, it's what we think about ourselves, what we like, how we feel about ourselves. And if we're going to compare ourselves to anyone, it has to be with ourselves from the past. Like, I set up a goal to achieve this within this amount of time and I haven't achieved it. That's what you have to put the rule and like compare yourself with. Not with somebody else that you maybe don't know. Even if it's your best friend, sometimes they have things that they're completely different than your reality. Remember, I said it before, we all have different realities sometimes, and sometimes we don't know it. And again, don't compare to people that are maybe fake, as I mentioned before, like Instagram people. Some of them are like true, some of them are not. But I mean, why? Let's make their job easier and not harder. I feel like this life, it's hard enough as it is for us to be worrying about what's a problem about like other like to worried about other people's problem. I feel like we are the ones that make it so hard on ourselves, and it's so easy. Also, respect people's opinion. And I mean it. Like, let them be unique, let them be different, let them be authentic, let them like different things. Like, even if they don't want to have kids, if they rather have pets, let them be like their beliefs. Don't worry, that's their life, that's what they believe in. And I have some friends that say that they don't want to have kids, and I respect it. But you always have the situation where another person is like, kids, why not? That's horrible. The fact is that kids are like quite I would say kids are like a big commitment. People cannot treat it lightly. So yeah, respect if people have different choices on that. I mean, I want to have kids, and I respect my friends that they don't want to have it. They have their reasons. I have my reasons to have one. So again, respect people's opinion. Another one, I believe everyone in this life is here to teach us something. Even if they're not our mirrors, like they say. Mirrors are the ones that actually can produce some feeling on us, like can activate something in us. So even if they don't, they are showing us a different point of view. And I think that's something beautiful. I feel like that's something that we always have to be thankful for, that there's somebody out there that wants to show us how to see this, I don't know, smile sign in a different point of view. I feel like we get to learn from all of these perspectives. And also, if we're going to support something, let's support it 100%. And I mean this because once I heard this person saying this gay couple together, and she was like, oh, that's amazing, yeah, I support them, awesome, but I hope they don't get married, I hope they don't have kids. Like, well, actually, do you actually support them? So let's not be hypocrites. I feel like hypocrites are like a terrible thing to do, or like a terrible thing to be, actually. I don't consider myself a hypocrite. I've fought all the hypocrisy in my life. I'm not good at diplomacy, as you can see, but I mean, or as being as diplomatic, but it's just, I hate it so much. I hate being fake, and I feel like also people notice. So I feel like the less hypocrite we are, the more real that we are. Isn't that what we want to be? Real in this world? So yeah, let's do that a little bit more. And last but not least, think before you speak. I know it sounds so simple, it sounds so easy, but we forget. We forget to sometimes think before we speak, or even think before we take actions. And a recent example would be like what happened with Will Smith. I love him, and I'm so sad that he reacted that way, because it wasn't the best way. But I mean, even the best of us, like, look at him. He has built an entire career on how be a great person, blah, 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 blah. And he did that. So even the best of us, at our greatest moments, sometimes we just react. So let's try to think before we actually take action, either if it's by word or by an actual action, right? And yeah, I feel like, again, we are all guilty of all of these things that I've mentioned. Don't you think that because I'm here telling you to not do it or to think about it a little bit more, it's because I don't do it? I do. I'm guilty. I am guilty of all of those things. But nowadays, I try to identify them. And nowadays, I say, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to say that again. I understand that what I said or thought was wrong, and I want to change it. So I'm taking actions every single day, every single moment when I identify that I'm doing any of this wrong. So yeah, I mean, the worst part is that sometimes we don't do it because we want to hurt the other people. Like, we don't do it because we're mean. It just again, we are used to react because we're busy. We're just like in the go, 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 and we react. So let's be more mindful. And well, everyone, if this episode made sense to you, please share with your friends, with your family. Remember to subscribe and like. And if you have any suggestions, any questions, anything that you want to tell me, go to my Instagram, ella es Marianita, and YouTube, Mariana Santiago. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you get to remember these little things. And yeah, this has been my rant, and thank you, and goodbye. Have a great week. Bye.